All right. All right. So, let me turn on my chat first. My chickadee chat. Right, guys. We are about to finish this JavaScript class. Took me a while to do. Right. So today we were trying to finish this JavaScript concept, but we need to focus on this. I would take it slower than what we did with CSS, but we will be taking we will still go fast, but we take this module slow because JavaScript is one we need to think a lot about. So yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to building a carousel and grabbing carousel, and attaching button event listeners. Right.
Well, the visuals aren't there yet, but we can work on that. But great job, we have become a fantastic amount because we've kept track of all the carousel items. We have slide position now. We have a total slide, so we know how many slides are in there, so we can do sort of calculation. And then we have 2 event listeners with 2 functions. Now, just to reiterate, when these event listeners get clicked, we are calling either one of these functions.
This coffee is really good.
Button, which is here, we call this function. For the previous one, we call this function. So, great job, and I'll see you in the next screencast.
Next screencast. To see this lessons, you need to be a subscriber. Yeah, I'm already a subscriber. What? Why? What is this? What the hell? Scrimba? Hello? I paid you. Yeah, I'm a pro member now. No? I did pay. Billing info. Scrimba Pro. Oh, it's expired. Wait, Don't tell me my freaking cards have a problem again. Let me try. Let me see. Wait, let me check something first. All right, we will. Yeah, let's see this half year. Going to be 1.5 million dong. Monthly. Guys, which one should we choose? Choose half year, right? Half year we can study. Half year is going to be 6 months. 410. 410 is like a really bad price. 410 times 2 is going to be 800. This is 800 times 4 is going to be like the same as this. So we should do with this, right? Half year 30-day money back guarantee. So we can study next month. No, it's not going to take us to the next month. So just we are going to pay this. All right, 1.5 million dong. Like this is a big discount. This is a good discount. Let's just continue to payment. This is good pay. Right, 1.5 million dong. Not that much, guys. Right, I have to turn my screen off, and let's see. Let's switch you guys to this. All right, can you still see it? Right, and we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back at it again. Back at it again. Right, let's move on to this. Better the carousel. Move to the next item.
So now it's time to make our slider interactive. So how do we do this? Well, firstly, let's focus on move to next slide, and this gets triggered when somebody clicks here, which we have an event listener set up. So as you can see, we have an event listener, which is click, which you implemented, and we want to fire off an action when that gets clicked. Now, I've left quite a few notes here, and this is basically just to give you a full understanding as to what's going on. Now, the code itself should be fairly simple for this. We essentially
feel like this is like the tip, not like good coders say, don't give too much comments, and I see like 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs here.
Actually want to check if our current slide position, which is 0, is equal to total slides. So is 0 equal to total slides being 3 in our case? No, it's not. So a conditional here sounds perfect. We're just going to use an if statement. So we're going to check if slide position is equal to total slides minus 1. So why are we checking for minus 1? Well, with minus 1, we have our total slides and we have our slides. And our slides, when we get them all by the class name, it's an array-like structure. So that will start with 0, 1, 2. So we don't have a slide position of 3. It'll only ever go to 2 unless you add more slide elements. So in our case, we want to check, are we at slide position 2 or are we at slide position 3? And if we are, we can do a comparison with total slides minus 1, which will give us 3 equals 3, which means we're on the last slide. So if we're on the last slide, we have to reset and go all the way back and put the slide position back to 0.
Guys, what is
and
this?
That's what I want you to do here. If we're not getting a truthy value back, such as is 2 equal to 3, no it's not. So we want to implement an increment on the slide position. So slide position may be 2. if it doesn't equal the condition that we're checking for an if statement, you want to go ahead and increment that. So then it will go from 2 to 3. Once you've done that, you want to add a class name to that particular slide to make it visible. So I'm going to pause the video now and we'll come back shortly and we can solve this together.
This guy doesn't explain well compared to pair. Pair is so much better. Like, I can understand every single word pair explain. I like pairs talk. Like, this guy a little bit not as good. Not as good. It's confusing because he doesn't move the cursor first of all, and then like there's a bunch of text here. If you give a task, just give it short, and then you can explain it later when people is figuring out. This is like, oh, hey computer, check if side position equal total slides minus 1. Total slide is equal to side length minus 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Yes, minus 1 because we want to start from 0 on slide position. So if the slide is the last one, after a user has clicked through all the slides and then hit next again, we must reset slide position to 0 and in turn making them back to the first slide. Yes, minus 1 is because we want to start from 0. Huh? On slide position. Right, so we do it here. Let's try this. Slide position equal total slides minus 1. Total slide is going to be slide length. How many slide there is? So carousel item is going to be 1, 2, 3. So 3 minus 1, 2. 2 is going to be, but it's say minus 1. Why reset? Well, if we try to access slide position, slide position much. This don't exist. We have 3 carousel item, so we will get an error. We have slide 1, 2, 3. Remember our cons slide. That is oh my god, this guy is has an array constructor in that the items index start from 0. In the non-program we start from this 1 counting, but this is programming. Yeah, I don't understand the frick he say. Is we start at 0, we increment by 1. When we click the next buttons, we go previous, it's the same thing. It's only go back to 0, then 1, then 2, 2, 1, 0, then 2, 1, 0, then 2, 1, 0, and 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. If we go next, once we done, check. Man, it's so hot. It's just like, if you give it like this, just you give like small tasks and then you explain it later or by talking. It's hard for like beginners to understand what the frick he's saying here. Well, if we try access slide position, yeah, such as slide 1, 2, 3, 4, this doesn't exist. We have 3 carousel. So that has an array structure in that item index start from 0. As when we done, I'll check for slide position against total slice. If this conditional state is true, we reset. Need to move this out, and then we do slide side position equal 0, else we increment this. What? So it's basically reset. Okay, I see. Counting from 0. Not true, we increment slide position. Slide position plus plus. Can we do that? Always had this commas. Do we put it within our function? We have a conditional. After that, the conditional, we want to add the class name of carousel visible to our current slide. Want to add the class name of carousel item visible to our current slide. Add class name. Well, this is a lengthy orders. It's like no way people can understand this shit, right? To our current slide. So is it slide position document equal document get element by ID? Like, it's so hard to explain what he's saying here. It's so hard to understand. What the frick?
Talk together, because I don't find this to be that easy. It's fairly challenging when you start figuring out the.
If he gave like short orders and then he re-explained it at the end, We're just doing it like brainwash, kid.
So let's say if slide position is, you couldn't use this slides -1. So our slide position starts at 0, and that's what's important. If that started at 1, what would happen is you couldn't use this to access the array, which is our slides here. So that's why we have to have a slide position of 0. Because if we went to slide position 1, yes, that would work. So would 2, but when you get to slide position 3, and you say slides, and then you pass it 3 as the index, it's going to give you an error because it's out of bounds, it doesn't exist. So let's say if we are at the end.
Wait, so 0 is equal to total slide. So 0 minus 1 is not equal to 0. Minus 1 is not. 0, 0, yes. 2, 1.
The slides just reset. We are not. We just increment. And then, as you see on the tasks, it says make sure that white's condition of 0. Because if we went to slide position 1, yes, that would work. So would 2. But when you get to slide position 3, and you say slides, and you pass it 3 as the index, it's going to give you an error because it's out of bounds, it doesn't exist. So let's say if we are at the end of the slides, we'll just reset. If we are not, we just increment. And then, as you see on the tasks, it says make sure that we...
Okay, so -1 is already like out of bounds. So it's going to reset the slide position back to 0. And then just going to run the else. Increment 1, and then it's, oh, I see, it's going back 1. Oh, if 1 is equal to total slide -1, so total slide here is sideline, it's going to be 3 minus 1. Oh, it's not, so it's reset to 0. Wait, what the fuck? That's weird.
Use carousel item visible. So we'll do slides. So we're going into the array-like structure, which is our 3 slides. We're going to set slide position, so we can pass it. It's a 0, 1, 2. So we have 3 elements, and then we can say class list. So add carousel item visible. So if we are on that slide, we just want to make it visible. We'll hit save on that.
We haven't studied this. What is he doing? Jesus, guys. So I love JavaScript, but like this explanation is just so not ass, but like it's kind of bad because I just don't understand what the frick he say here. Like, what is this? Jesus. If slide position 0 equal total slide is 3, guys, -1 is not equal to 0, so it's reset to 0. If it's not true, it's going to increment. So 1 total slide -1. When someone click this, fucking computers. Let me turn this off. Epic game, like I need to delete Epic Games, right? So when a user click this, hey, Joker, move to the next slide. It run this conditional if start position, which is 0 at the moment. Equal type and equal values. Total slide is 3 minus 1. Is it true? No, it's not true. So don't run this. 0 is not equal to 2. So it's run else. Start position increment. So it's now 1. Okay, someone click it again. And now it's 1, right? Start position is 1. If start position 1, if 1 equal value equal type, total slide is still 3. 3 minus 1, 2 is not true. Increment 2, okay. If the start position is now 2, equal type equal value 2, okay, now it's true. Now it's reset to 0. Like, it's hard to understand this. Why don't he just use yeah, let's move on.
We can test this out by clicking on the button, so let's try that now. And there we are getting...
What the fuck is this? It's hard to understand what this guy trying to say. Right, function, move the next slide, cursor item. Yes. Like, oh my god, like the comments here is like, it's a whole paragraph, and if it like a task, it should just be like 1 sentence long or like 2 sentences. Just like 1 paragraph. Jesus, I just don't understand what he's saying here. Oh my god, oh my days. Position, okay, now looking at the code I can understand it, but like from here within our function move to the next slide, we have conditional. After conditional, we want to add the class name cursor to our current slide. Yes, and it's just so hard to understand like what he's saying here. It's our CSS class that make this cursor item a block element and not hidden, and show it. Oh my god. Slide positions. Slide equals slide position 1 to 3. Slide position, not classless. Oh my god, we haven't studied this. Why would you put such thing in this? And you don't explain what it is.
Pass it if it's a 0, 1, 2. So we have 3 elements, and then we can say class list. Dot add carousel item visible. So if we are on that slide, we just want to make it visible. If we hit save on that, we can test this out by clicking on the button. So let's try that now. And there we are getting slides appearing. And if I click next, nothing else happens. Apart from, in the background, let's give this a go and just put, suppose to check in against -1, refresh, you will get the error. So now you have 0, 1,
2, yeah, 0, 1, 2. increment, slide position. Oh, so it's basically just display this. Classless at. See, like he doesn't understand thoroughly.
Yeah.
Explain thoroughly. Like we are all beginners. Like this stuff should be explained. Like just build like 2 more hours. Just make it like this like 2 more lesson, like 3 more lesson. Like it's so much easier to understand this.
Sorry, so can't get that because you have gone out the array essentially. So if we put that back,
Ooh la la.
see this works nicely. Now we want to focus on how do we hide these elements that are no longer using the carousel item visible. So each time we click, we do add carousel item visible, but we want to hide all the others. So let's take a look in the next screencast as to how we can do that.
Yes, I appreciate that people actually built this course for us to study, but if they built it, it should be explained thoroughly because this is the beginner course. Like.
Welcome to this screencast where I want to just bring your attention to a loop that is called for of. Now you may have seen some traditional loops, whether it be within JavaScript or another programming language, and traditionally how you would use them is like so. So you'd say let I in JavaScript equals 0, I minus names, so if it's less than names.length, increment. And in doing so, we can do console.log names and then we pass the index because we get that on the count each time. If I save this, you see Carl, John, Steve. Now that's perfect, that works, but I have started to use a new loop that is within JavaScript called for of. And I just want to bring your attention to this and show you how it works. So if I say for, and then essentially what you have to do, you don't have to pass a counter, you don't have to access it by the index, you can just say for const, or say for let name of names. You don't expect it to change, but if I come down here, I can say console.log name. If I comment that one out, you see you get the same result. And yes, you can use const here as well, because we don't expect name to change. We're not going to be mutating it in any way. But this is, I would believe, a cleaner solution to using a for loop. Now, there's some other differences, but I do much prefer using this one, and this is the one we're going to be using in an upcoming screencast.
It's like a for loop in Python. It's like a for something in something. For name in names.
How would you access an object? Well, it's pretty similar. So if we just comment both of these out, go down here and we just take this loop if we wish, and we can target people. So we'll change names to people, and I'll uncomment this out. I'll replace names with people, and I can save this. You can see I get both objects. Now I just have to use a dot notation and say give me the name. That's good, and I can do the same for location. Cool, so that works. We are aware of for loops.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and see how we would do this using a for of loop. So we can go ahead again, just say for const person of people. What's happening really with this is just saying, okay, so we know you have an array here, and for each iteration, we're just going to store it in whatever you call this variable. In this particular case,
it's just
person. So
by Python.
In here,
Python in a nutshell.
Here, and then this object is just going to get stored in person on each iteration on the loop. Likewise with name, or names in this case, it's going to give us each iteration. And I want to show you how we can access an object by doing this. So it's a console.log person, that's what we called it here, name. And there we are, we can access an object. And we can go ahead and just do the same person.location, and there's no need to pass the index. We can just use a for of. So that's how a for of loop works. I find it cleaner to read, it's much more intuitive. it reads in basic English for me. It's basically saying for each.
Yeah, it might be really good. This is closer to human language. That's why Python loved this. JavaScript loved this, right? JavaScript, C++, people use this, right? And then Python people use this. Which one should I choose?
Each person give me the iteration. Iteration on.
Yeah, it's basically it runs through a list. So people is a list. Oh shoot! Here we have a list. Here we have a list. 0, 1. We run. Oh, name. Okay, we go into the list. Oh, we have object. Oh, name. We take out the key. Name. Okay.
The loop going round, we can just access it here.
Pretty interesting. I like it. I like it.
So in the previous screencast, we have got to a point and we have put together the slide images.
See, this is exactly what I mean. Like, it should be short, right? Start CSS, add new class, cursor item hidden. Oh, now it's like, wow, this is easy to understand. Not like
buttons, but we only
freaking 10 paragraph. Like one, and then this is make people confusing as well.
At the moment, and you can probably see when I click next, getting multiple images showing up, which is not something we want from a carousel. The whole premise of a carousel is that we hide the last image. So, for example, if I click on this image here, or at least if I click on the button that was here, I want to hide this image.
Button.
And then likewise, if I click on the button again. We go to this slide and hide both previous images, and that's the carousel is that we hide the last image.
What is that noise?
So, for example, if I click on this image here, or at least if I click on the button that was here, I want to hide this image. And then likewise, if I click on the button again on this image too, we go to this slide and hide both previous images. And that's pretty much how a slider works. It just iterates through the images.
It's just like a frame, right?
So,
just like a frame.
What we want to do is we want to get rid, essentially, of the others, and not just delete them. We want to hide them. So to hide them, we want to set display none on the images that are no longer active. Basically saying, when a user clicks next, hide the previous slide and any other slides apart from the current active slide. So to achieve this, we have to create a new class in our style sheet that we are going to set to.
Right. We will do this. We will do this. Let's go to now. This is way easier to understand. Right. Cursor item hidden. Hidons. See, one is easy to understand. It's I'm way happier. Happier. Hidons. I'm way happier when like everything is easy to understand. Display none. Display a none. None. Right. Display a none, and then display none, none, none. That is set to display none. Create a new function called hid, hide, or slide. Function hide or slides. Close bracket, open curly brace. Inside hide or slides, use a for-of loop to iterate through slide. Each iteration will give you direct access to cursor item. Right, we go for wait, for of let item images of carousel items. Then we do this. Right, am I right? Am I right, guys? Let image of carousel items, so it's basically run as carousel items is run through direct access to through the slide. Right, when inside a for of loop, remove the class carousel item visible and add class carousel hidden. Remove class carousel item hidden. Call this carousel happier hidden. Comments. Right, so it's basically run through this. When also will be hidden, and inside move next slide, and when inside for the add class carousel item hidden, all our slide will be hidden, and inside at the end we add back the slide we want visible. Hide our slide. When inside the inside move side position. And we add back the slide we want visible. Add back the slide that we want visible. What can it be?
Display none. Then we overlay allows you to, and when you click on here, you'll hit all slides. The reason we're going to be creating a new function called hide all slides is that we want to iterate over slides, which is here. Our slides currently has 3 elements, and those 3 elements we're going to iterate through. And using a for of loop basically allows you to get direct access to the element. So when you, for example, if you used a for of loop and you did console.log on an item in there, such as slide, you'll see you get access to the div. And having that access allows you to add or remove class names. And when you click on here, you'll see it's adding carousel item visible. So I want you to remove that, and then not this particular line, but in the new function, hide all slides, I want you to go ahead and remove this class name. Once you've done that, add the class carousel item hidden that you've just created, and then I want you to go ahead and call the hide all slides function within here. So when this function gets called within here, it's going to hide all the slides. And
oh, I see. So all this function within here. So hide all slides, right? Unknown errors. What? Unknown.
Then once we've done our logic here, we're going to come down to this bit and we're going to say, okay, we're on the active slide, add carousel item visible, and just show that one slide. So go ahead and pause the video and I'll come item hidden within this chain. Once we've done that, we're going to iterate through slide. So now we have access to the slide. We just say slide.
Oh, slides. No shit, it's not working.
Class list dot remove. And what did we want to remove? Well, remove the class.
Oh, we remove it. Remove class. Okay. Right, slide position. First of all, it has to remove it. Remove this slide. This thingy. And then we add class. There's an item hidden. Right. Hidden. So is this removing hidden? It remove visibility, but then it's display none as well. I see. Ah. So it's basically hide all the slide behind this. Now we just do the same things, but minus, right? Can we do that? Let's try it. Just change this to minus, and then we got the thingy for move to previous slide. Right, so we need to understand this code a little bit better. So basically, function hide all slide. Yeah, let's ignore this, because if slide position equal to total slide minus 1. Sorry, total slide here is 3 minus 1. No. Right, total slide minus 3. 3 minus 1, 2. Position is equal to 0. No. Not going to run that. Else. Increment 1. Oh, 3, you know. Oh, so okay. So it get display here. So slide position. Oh, now it's 0, right? 0 increment by 1. So slide position 1. Slide 1. Dot class list. Dot add. So it's add this class into this item visible, action visible, display block, right? Display block, and then it's show. That's why it's boop boop boop. It's show in a block format, right? Slide position, slide 1. Oh, so it's 1 class list, and then one is set. This one is set 2, so it's basically 1 equal. Oh no, it's increment 2. Okay, now it's show 2, because slide position is always at 0. So it's always going to display at 0, right? It's always start at this joker, guys. So which image is it? Image. What image is a Joker one? Oh, because this one is always set to visible. So always start at this guy first. And there's increment up. 1 is here. 2 is here. And then if 2 is equal, then it's set to 0. It's not going to go 0, and then we just display the Joker guy again. Okay, I understand. This is a lot easier to read code, but this doesn't make you like creating, like understanding is two different skills, guys. And so now I understand this a little bit better now. So basically this function is just to, when it's added up here, it's going to remove visibility. So it's remove all the item, cursor item. So remove all the picture, because at the beginning it is like, oh, display block, boop boop. So now it's all of that is remove. Side position, remove that. All right, and it's only happen when it's run down here. So it's all remove, and then we add a cursor item hidden. So the side position at the moment. So if when we click this, let's say we started Joker, right? Now we remove visibility, visible, and we add hidden. Yes, it's all hidden first, but then it's automatically run through this and it's display. Oh, it should display this. Display this. Right, we restart this and let's see what happened. It's automatically get the Joker guy. Get the Joker guy. Because it's already embedded into this. It's a CSS. Now when we click this, it says JavaScript. Because what we have here is already displayed, right? Cursor visible display block, right? So it's already displayed the Joker guy. Now the Joker guy, right? Anything else is not displayed. Anything else, right? But when we click this, we move from the Joker guy to 1. So baby driver. This baby driver, guys, is run because of this. We hide current slide. We hide the slide position 0 because it's not run. It's not increment yet. So we hide this. We hide the Joker guy. We remove the visibility. Remove cursor item. Remove this stuff right here from the Joker guy, so he disappear. And then we add cursor item hidden. So we display him. We don't display him anymore. And then it's run through this code. Oh, is 1 equal to 3 minus 1. Oh no. So else position increment by 2. Alright, side position. Now that it's visible. Add cursor item visible. Now the other stuff is also visible. But then when we click this again, the slide position before this is removed. Right? Isn't it? Am I explaining it like a moron or... It's hard to explain this. how to explain it. Increment by 1, so it's at 2 right now. 2. Oh, it's got at the visible. This only happened when we click this. Let's go back to 0, guy. Because 3 is not equal to total slide minus 1. So it's like 2, 2. Right? 3 is not equal to 2, so it's reset to 0, 0, and then let's run this code. Oh, carousel item visible. Now it's visible. Now we rerun this by clicking this. Rerun this. Rerun it. We shove this guy back into here. Remove carousel of visible. So we remove, because we are at the index 0 right now. 0 here. And then we hide the 0. We hide the 0. And then we add hidden 0. Alright, we hidden it. We hide it. Get out of here, Joker guys. And then it's going to run the next one. The next line. It's going to be slide position. So it's if 0 is equal to this, but it's false. So we run, oh, slide now is 1. So slide position. So slide 1. Add class, add, oh, so it's visible now, right? It's visible, right? We don't, when we click this, it's automatically do the same thing with the Joker guys. Oh, right now the index is at 1. Function, we hide all, so we hide the 1. We hide the 1 because this code is not run yet. It's not run yet. And then now everything is hidden right here. Now now this code, this part, if slide position, so it's 1 equal to total slide. 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2, okay, reset to 0. Now the index is 0. Wait, 2 equal. Total slide is 3 minus 1. Huh. Interesting. 2 total slide length. It's 3 item, right? 3, so 2. What the hell? Now this part is 2. Because this is 2. Oh, this is still 1. Still 1. Because we use the 1 here. If slide position 1 equal, no, it's not. So increment by now it's at 2. Slide position is 2. Now the slide position got added to the class called carousel item visible. So now it's visible, right? It just hide the 1. Now we are at here. We click another one. Now 2 is equal to 2. So we reset it to 0. Side position now is 0, 0. Right? We ignore the else because this one is true already. So we ignore the else. And then we run this. Oh, simple. Hello? I had a few things that I need to do. So let's go back to this. This stuff is unreasonably complicated. Like I thought this was going to be easy at first, but then we have to hook it up to the CSS, and then we have to hook it up to the JavaScript, to the HTML.
Carousel item visible. So let's just do that. Perfect.
When we delete this, we are here. Yeah, we basically right. So now, what we can do for this move to previous, we add the same things. Can we try it? We will try it. Copy this. Move this here. Now, we go minus minus. Run. When we go back, we need to remove visibility of the last slide. So the last slide is here. It's basically a reverse. Last slide. Slide position. Now set. Still 0. So let's try this. Move to previous slide. So it's maxing slide position. If slide position is 0 equal to, so it should be maxing, right? Maxing +1. Total slide +1. No, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Slide position equal. It should be remove visibility of the last slide. And then it's add the, not the slide position, slide +1. Oi! I didn't even click this. Try this. Unknown errors. -1 is true, is right. Yeah, let's this. Let's go to the next one. Let's see.
Then add carousel item visible. Give that a save of logic here. Just takes you back, and feel free to play around with it. The visible class, and then once we know what slide we're on, add the class. So great job, and I'll see you in the next screencast.
Right, guys, let's move on to the next one. Moving to the previous slide. Yes. This is basically, is it like the data structure stuff? Like, ooh, these, and then these, and then these. Is it like an order list or something like that? Order list. Reverse order list.
So in the last screencast, we looked at how we can use the next button and how we can create a function to hide all non-active slides.
Guys, would you like sours, like some sort of sours, acidic coffee, or like some bitter strong coffee?
In this screencast, we're going to be looking at pretty much replicating move to next slide, but instead there's a few minor tweaks because we're going backwards now. We're not going forwards, we're going backwards.
Like, I'm assuming we has to remove this. and put it in
you want to
the bottom.
Course called hide all slides because we've done the work for that, so we may as well reuse it. Then we want to check if we're on slide position 0. So why do we want to check that? Well, there's some instructions here if you prefer reading, but I'd rather talk about this now and give you an explanation as to why we check for position 0. So right now we're on position 0 in our slides and our slide position. So when you start out, you're on slide position 0. We check if that's the case, and if the user has triggered to go back, well, we can essentially say, okay, I'm on 0, now go back, but take away 1 from the slide position. Because that won't work and you'll get -1. Now when you try pass -1 to the array-like structure that is slides, it's going to be like, well, -1 doesn't exist, nor are you passing me a valid value. So you want to pass a solid integer, being 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the rest of the numbers that could occur. So we don't want to pass -1. So basically, we want to say if you
pass
back,
-1.
we want to check for 0. So we need to let's look at total slides. So what's the length of total slides? Well, in our
3.
case, in a general concept, it's 3. In the programming world, it's 2 because you start 0,
okay.
1, 2.
Makes sense.
So what we want to do, if we happen to click the previous button and it's at position 0, you want to set the slide position to total slides, which is 3. But we can't access that, right? Because we can't say slides 3 then pass index of 3 because it doesn't exist. Arrays work 0, 1, 2. So we have to -1, just like we did here. So I want you to go ahead and do that. And then once you have done that, call this. And make sure you think about what you do for the else statement. So here we're incrementing. What would we do to go back? Pause the video and attempt to finish the previous.
I know how we basically is it increment and decrement? I'm not sure. What is the opposite of increment? Hey Alexa, what is the opposite of increment? Thank you, Alexa. Thank you. Reduction, guys. Reduction. Alexa is smart. Yes. Thank you for the feedback. Hey, Alexa, want to sleep? Hey, Alexa, go to sleep. Right, we go and we move to the next slide. Right, as we did move the next slide, went and move to the previous slide. Right, we go and we do hide all slide. And then what do we do next? Check if the side position is equal. If it is, we know that we are on the first slide. True. If slide position equal 0. 0. Right. You know, we're on the first side, so we go back, we take slide position, total slide, and decrease the value by 1, right? So then we open this, we take the total slide, decrease by 1. The value by 1. Example 3 minus 1, which give us slide position 2, which is the last item in our array. Oh, okay. So like well, 0. If we are at 0 and we do total slide minus decrement, decreased by 1. So reduce by 1. So 0, and total slide is going to be 3 minus 1. So we are 2. I see. This is nice. Right, and then what else do we do? Which give us slide position 2, which is the last item in our array. Right, there are the index in actually access slide position. So we did as we did or move to the next slide. Yes, slide position. Dot class list dot app open this. Basically, we put this in. Right, if it is 0, else, always there's an else. If we are not on slide position 0, we are not on the first slide. Therefore, we just decrease the slide position. Slide position minus minus total slide 3 minus 1. Right, slide position here is like, let's say we are at, this is the reason we check for 0 prior because we are on, and try to decrease from 0. We will end up passing an index value. True, as we did, we want to add class cursor item visible. Oh, so the first one has to be check both your button for result. Wait, what? It's out at 1. What the frick? We do total slide minus equal 1. Run this, still not work. If slide position equals 0, 0 is equal to 0, then total slide is equal to 3 minus 1. So it's like 2, right? And then the slide position, there are the index in the array. We actually use attribute value can be access, as we did for move to the next slide. Oh, total slide. So we take total slide and decrease the value by 1. This is not going to display anything. Right, we have to add something else. Check the slide position. If it is, we know that we are on the first slide. So to go back, we take the slide, total slide, and decrease the value by 1. An example, 3 minus 1, which gives us slide position. Oh, we display slide position here. Right, if it is, we are at 0, we basically do this and we do total slide, right? Run this, unknown errors, commas, run it, still unknown errors. What a fucking bitch. What a sellout. Let's move here is good. Move here is good. Go back is good. But here it doesn't go back because it's -1. Total slide. Guys, how do we do this? We take total slide and decrease by 1, which gives us the start index 2, and position 2, which is the last item in our array list. Move to the next slide. Pivot 1, and then it's going to be now slide position equals 0, right? Then total slide is going to be, oh, is it like this? Total slice, right? Because when it's at 0, total slide is equal to is going to be 2, and then slide now is so equal to be 2. And we slide display it. Let's see. Still doesn't display. Let me save this. Let's see what is going to happen here.
Slide function.
Fucking unknown errors.
First one is this, which is 3. In a general concept, so we talk about numbers, but in the programming world, we start from 0, so we have to.
Slide position equal total slide -1. Try this. Now we got it. I cannot do the last one. The last one is basically the same, it's just longer, right? What a sellout. Right. If it at 0, slide position is equal to 2. So we display. Right. If it at 0, right? True, right? So we have to go through this, and we will be going through it in the afternoon, right? And